Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. This is Amy from With Love by Amy, and we're going to make this fall happy birthday card. I could have done any sentiment in the center, but I have a need for a fall birthday card. So first thing, I just grabbed some scraps of cardstock in various fall colors, and I punched out, because I have a bunch of old little punches that punch out leaves, and I just punched them out in various colors. If you didn't have leaf punches like I do, you could probably use any small die cuts, which I know a lot of sets come with little small leaf die cuts, and that would work just the same. However, I don't have any die cuts like that. I only have these old school, not so awesome punches. One of the things that I did have to do with the larger leaf is the punch was like getting stuck. So I ended up, and I didn't record it for some reason, I punched through several layers of wax paper and it smoothed out the punch. It worked way better after that. Alright, and so here we have my background for the card and the hardwood stamp from Stampin' Up. It's old. I don't know if it's still available, but I know that I think Simon Says Stamp has a similar stamp available. There I am lining it up and making sure that it's covering, that the stamp is covering the whole background. And because I'm doing a background stamp, I don't have a sticky mat yet for my Misty. So I'm just drawing tiny lines where it would go if I needed to double stamp. And here we're using skeleton leaves. And we're rubbing the stamp down, trying to get super duper good coverage because I don't really want to have to reline it up. And I didn't want the look of the wood to be super pronounced, so I just left it as it was. And this circle die I'm only using to shape our wreath. And we want to make sure that the sentiment we're choosing will fit inside with a little room to spare, because the wreath itself will probably go a little bit on the inside of the circle. So there I am, just tracing around the circle die to make sure that when we put all of our leaves down, they cover up the line I'm making with the pencil. And there we go. I'm actually going to stamp the sentiment on the front right now because I want to make sure that the leaves don't cover it up. And this is going to take forever because, let's be honest, there's a million leaves that go into this wreath. But I love how pretty they are. There's so many pretty colors. And it's fall, summer-ish, I guess, kind of. Because there are some green leaves in there still too, but we got a lot of different colors of leaves. That gives me a minute here to talk about. This is a part of a hop on Instagram. It's Spooky September hop. This is the last week, and Kelly's Crafts organizes these hops on a regular basis. So if you are on Instagram and you're interested in joining us, I will leave the information for the hop in the description box below so that you can follow along, or you can join in as well if you would like. We always, more the merrier with these Instagram hops. And it's, inspiring to see other people's work, and it keeps me motivated to create content and stay crafty, because I always need more crafty motivation and inspiration. So here we are. I just kind of started off doing kind of like opposing from each other with the big stamps at first, like the 3, 6, 9, 12 type of thing with the clock. And then I went in between all of those and just tried to make it as even as possible. I did start out doing the bigger leaves on the bottom, and then as we filled in with the bigger leaves, I did go on top of those with the smaller leaves in, to kind of just fill in the gaps and stuff. It was really fun to make this. I don't know. I've never really done a wreath like this before, but this was really fun to put all the pieces together. And I did find that I had a little container with a whole bunch of already punched out leaves. So I had punched some of these out when I made the card, but some of them I found in a little cup, because I have lots of little cups of leftover bits and pieces. And I need to get way better at organizing them so I don't forget that I have them, or just forget where they are, because that happens too. At some point, I think I did use my, I did try and use my jewel picker to pick the little tiny leaves up, but it didn't work the greatest, so I just ended up using my fingers. And the tweezers, they didn't work that well either for this. I'm not sure why, but I tried. It just was a time-consuming process to stick all these tiny leaves down because the bigger leaves, they seemed like they filled up a lot of ground pretty quick. But the smaller ones, they were so tiny, and there were so many of them. And then I just like kept going until I felt like I was done-ish. But those tweezers did actually help. The first tweezers I think I tried, they didn't work so well. Somehow I managed to get distracted and not record the entire process, but I got pretty much of it on here. Such a fun process to put this all together. I love how complete it looks just with all the leaves on there and all the colorfulness. I could have put a little bow or something on there, but I didn't think about it till right now. So this card doesn't get a bow. It just has a wreath and it says happy birthday. And there's my leftover leaves. So pretty. All right, so I couldn't just leave it like that. I had to add some sparkliness. So I got some gold sequins and I put them on. The jewel picker did work for the sequins. I do like that Marvy jewel picker. I will leave a link for that below in the description box as well, because I think that's pretty helpful, and it's a rather inexpensive tool. So here we go. All of our jewels are on there. Not jewels, sequins. My bad. All right, so we're going to adhere it to a white card base. And then, because I've been on an envelope decorating kick, that's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm magneting this down to my make art station, and then we're going to use I'm going to restamp the sentiment on a different piece of cardstock. I have 2 different colors of cardstock that are kind of like craft colors, just to see which one I really want, because I want to make the sentiment stand out a little bit more. And so I'm happy with that one that's a little bit contrasting from the color of the card base or the card panel. And then I'm just going to go around the edges of the sentiment with skeleton leaves. And then I'm gluing it down, and it looks good, using that magnets from the Make Art Station. All right, and then the envelope decorating. So I'm going to take that same hardwood stamp, and I'm going to stamp on the flap of the craft envelope. I will say these envelopes, like the ink kind of bleeds on them or something. I don't know. They're not the highest quality of envelopes. I don't know where they came from, so it is what it is, but all right, and here's a look at the finished product with the envelope. I love the way it turned out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out some of these other videos that you may enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified of more upcoming content soon. Thank you so much. Have a great day.